Nouran Adli. I'll be talking about the basics of Python. I will start with the what is Python and why Python, and then I will talk about the different data types in Python and the different types of data collection and the functions related to each data type. First of all, Python is an interpreted, object-oriented, high-level programming language with dynamic semantics. So why Python? Well, first of all, like I said, it's a high-level programming language. It's simple to use. It's an open source. So you can download it from the internet easily, like I did. The users are in control of it. It has built-in large standard libraries. And also its language is expressive and interpreted. And also it's object-oriented, as I said, and platform independent. Now in Python, there are different data types. We will talk briefly about them. First, we have the Boolean, and this is the data where it is either true or false. Okay. Next, we have the string, and the string, it means text. So any text in Python, it's always written between quotations, either single, double, or triple quotations. Next, we have the numbers, and it's divided into three. We have integers, and its abbreviation in Python is int, I-N-T, and integers means whole number. Okay, and then we have float, which is a decimal number, and it's written also like this, float, F-L-O-A-T in Python. And we have the complex numbers. It's the syntax is 4 plus 5j. This is an example, of course, and I will not be talking about it as I will be focusing on the bioinformatics. Okay. Now, before we go further, I just want to explain some basics. We use the IDLE, okay, shell of the Python, and in order to start with our data, we have to put our data in a variable. So here, as you can see here, I gave the variable x 4. So x is equal to 4. And here we use the function type to know which type of data this is. So if here I am asking Python, what is the type of data of x? All right. So here the Python told me that it's an integer, int, it's integer. Okay, so the type of data is x equal 4. So x is an integer. Here I used another variable, which is y, is equal to 4.5. And then when I asked Python, what is the type of y? It told me it's a float. Okay. Here I used another variable. Here, as you can see, this is a text. That's why I used the quotations. Okay, I used here double quotations. And then when I asked Python, what's the type of the variable z? It told me string. Okay. Next, here I used another variable, a equal 20, b equal 10, and c is the equation, or the equation c equal b greater than a. And then when I told Python to print c, it told me false. Why? Because c is equal to b, which is 10, is not greater than 20. So that's why it told me false. And this type of data, it's called Boolean or bool. Okay. Now, before we go to the collection, to the data collection, there are some important notes you have to keep in mind when working in Python. First, Python is case sensitive. So the variable x, small x or lowercase x, and the variable uppercase x is two different variables. So here, as you can see here, when I used x equals 6, it gave me integer. And when I used another variable, so capital X is 6.5, it told me it's float. So you have to take care of this point when working with Python, because if you forgot and wrote something small capital, it will cause a lot of errors. For example, here. All right, so we were talking about the case sensitive. All right, so for example, if I said X is equal to hello, and I said print X, it will give me an error, because the capital X is a different variable than X. So here the capital X is not defined. All right. The next point is that strings or text cannot be changed or cannot change to integers, but integers can be changed to strings. For example, here I want to write my name and then my age. So here I'm going to give A is equal 32, which is my age. B is equal to Nouran. All right, now, if I ask for the type of A, it will tell me that this is an integer. And if I ask for the type of B, it will tell me that it's a string type. What should I do in order to write my name and then the age? So if I write print my name, which is B, plus my age, which is A, here it will give me an error. Why? Because you cannot in Python you cannot do that. You cannot change the string to integers, but you can do the opposite. How? You can easily just change the 32 into string. How? By just putting str in front of it. So it will be like this. I will print B, which is my name, which is already a string, plus I will put str A. Now I changed the integer into string by putting str here in front of A. So now it will print it for me normally, Nouran 32. All right, so this is also something you have to put in mind when working with Python. Next, so if you write the same variable more than once, the Python deletes the first and records the last. For example, here, if I write f equal 24, it will give me integer. If I write again, if I use the same variable f equal 24.5, it will ignore the 24 and now it will become 24.5. So that's why I always keep on changing the variable, because if I use the same variable, it will delete my first data. Okay. Now, for the data collection, we have four. Okay, we have the list, we have the set, the dictionary, and the list, set, dictionary, tuple. Okay, now these four data collections depends on which data are you using, what of the kind of information you want, which function will you use. Okay, and they are four of them. They are somehow similar and they differ in the way it's written with the parentheses and all. So let's start with the list. As you can see here, the red, okay, is associated with the list. So the list is written like this. It uses the half square parentheses, okay? And here 1, 2, and 3 are called index, Okay, this is the first index, this is the second, this is the third. And here it also can be used for strings, but of course you have to put the string or any text or any string between quotations. So here in the list will be written like this. You have to open the square parentheses, first index separated by a comma, and here also with the strings also separated by a comma. Okay, and this is how the list is written. For the tuple is the same, but we're using the half circle parentheses. And also the index is separated by a comma. Okay, the dictionary uses these parentheses. Okay, and as the dictionary, from its name, it means that in the dictionary there is a word and its meaning. This is the same thing, the key and its value, or there can be one key and two values, or as you can see here, this is key one dot value one. Okay, separated by a comma, and then we can go and do the key two dot value two. All right, so here as an example, the codon AUG between the quotations, because it's a string, I assign to it the MET, the amino acid MET. Okay, and so this is the first index. Now, comma, which means what comes after it is the second. AAA is proline, also separated by the two dots. Okay, we're going to talk about this in details in a bit. The last one is the set, and it's using the same parentheses as the dictionary, but it's also separate. The index is separated by a comma, and also can be used for both integers and strings. All right. Before going on, there are two data types. Data that can be changed, or values that can be changed, and values that cannot be changed. Values that can change are called mutable, like list set dictionary. In the list set dictionary, when you are writing your data, and if you did any changes like added an item, deleted an item, replaced an item, it can be changed. Okay, but in the immutable, in the string, integer, float, tuple, boolean, all of these, the values cannot change. So if you did any changes, it will temporarily show you the result, but it will never change the original data for you. Okay. Now, I did this to just to quickly recap and to remind me also about all the functions related to each type. There are some basic functions, and we tried two, the print and the type. There's also the length that are basic for we can use it in all the data types. And then here you will find set of functions that are related to each data type, depending on your data and the information you want to extract from it. So let's start with the string. All right, so first we are going to talk about string. All right, so string, we said that it is written between quotations. So if I have a DNA sequence, okay, this is how it's written. I opened a quotation, wrote my sequence, closed it. Okay, if I started with a double quotations, I have to end with a double quotations. If I started with a single, I have to end with a single quotation. Okay, now here, if we asked Python for the type of X, okay, sorry, type. Okay, it will tell me that it's a string. str means string. All right, what about the length of X? 15. All right, So first, the first function we will talk about here is the replace function. This function is used to replace one character with another. Okay, like for example, if I want my this DNA to be the RNA, the transcribed. Okay, so I want to replace all the T with the U's. Okay, how will I do that? The way it's written is first you tell them that in X, okay, in the string X, I want to replace here. When you do that, it will give you all the functions related to the string. So replace, okay. What will I want to replace? I want to replace the T with U. All right, so here I wrote that in the string X, I want to replace the T, all the T's with the U's. Okay, if I did enter here, as you can see, it replaced all the T's with the U's. Now, if I said print X, it will give me the original data that I already put. This is called immutable. Okay, this is called immutable. It means that when I told it to replace, it gave me the output or the result, and then when I called it again, it went back to its original. That's why the string is immutable. The values do not change. Okay. Now, all right. Also in the string, because it's text, you can always uppercase or lowercase the data. So for example, my data is uppercase. If I want to lowercase, I can do that by also X and X. You will tell them to lower. All right, so it will lowercase all your data. All right, and the same thing with upper. So X dot upper, and it does not take any argument. All right. Now, in case I want to count a specific character in the sequence, okay, I also use the function count. Okay, how do I do that? The same, X dot count. For example, I want to count all the T's. So it would tell me we have 3 T's. All right. But for example, if I want to write it down, like the thymine count is 3. How can I do that? And here, remember also what I said about converting the integer to string. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna do. So for example, I wanted to print the thymine count is, and then I wanted to count the thymine and do it as an output, which is X dot count T. What will happen here? It will give me an error, the same error that it gave me before. Why? Because we cannot do that. We cannot put the integer with it cannot be added, the integer and the string. So what will we do? We will do a variable y with this function, okay? And then we can say print the thymine count is, and then plus the string of y. Here. Oh, I did not put the T, no problem. So this is how you do it. You always have to put this in mind. All right. All right. So here we finished the count function. Now there's also another way to find the location of a particular, for example, I have the string, okay? I want to know which nucleotide is in position 3, okay? How will I do that? So here I'm going to get this again, copy it, okay? All right, so if I want to know what is in positions, okay, first of all, the Python always counts from 0, okay? So in this string, position 0 is A, position 1 is G, position 3 is T, and etc. So if I want to know what is in position 0, I use these. I use the square parenthesis, okay? And then here I put 0. So I am asking here that what is in position 0 in the string X, okay? And it will give me A because it is the first. Of course, for Python, this is position 0, okay? For example, let's try another one, 2. It will be T, 0, 1, 2. So this is 2 for Python, the T, okay? For example, also here, if I want to know, for example, from nucleotide 0 to 5, the first 5 nucleotides, this is how I write it. I write from 0 to, the 2 dots means 2, 5, okay? And then it will give me the first 5 nucleotides, all right? If I want to know the last nucleotide, I will write -1. Okay, it will give me the last nucleotide, which is also A. If I want to give me the whole, to go through the whole sequence from beginning to end and show me every 2 nucleotides. How will I do that? From beginning to end means these, okay? The 2 upper dots, 2 of them, and then 2, and when I write 2, it means that from the beginning to the end, I will hop 2 times and then give the nucleotides. Let's see what it will do. So here A, okay, and then it hopped 2 times, got the T, skip 2 nucleotides, got the G, skip 2 nucleotides, got the C. So it moves every 2 nucleotides, okay? And the final one I will show you today is also from beginning to end, but -1. This one, it means reverse. Okay, so it will take the string and reverse it. Okay, so here is A, G, 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 T, T, C, blah, blah, blah. All right, and of course, as you can see here, anything that I put with the hashtag sign, the Python cannot see it and will not see it. Okay. All right. What else? All right. This is what we have. So there is also this function that you will find very useful, is the dir x. This will show you all the functions that is related to your data, which is the string. Okay, in case you want to know more information about one function, you can also use the help function. This is how you write it. So it's help x dot, for example, I want to know what is find. Here you will find everything. Okay, for example, I want to know what is count. Okay, it will give you a summary of what the function is and how to write it. Okay, so this is some of the things that you can use in the string. And as we said, that the string is immutable and cannot be changed. Okay, and then we saw how to extract information from the string, how to count specific characters, how to uppercase, lowercase, replace. All of these things you can do with the string. Now, all right, now we are going to continue with the lists. All right. Now, for the list, as we said, that the list, how is the list written? We will use the square brackets, okay? And here I'm going to write a list of positively charged polar amino acids, okay? Here there are 3, okay? So I will put it in a list. I will open my list brackets or parentheses, and then I will put the 3, which is arginine and lysine and histidine. And then I will close it. All right, so this is how my list looks like. Okay, so I have here a list of positively charged polar amino acids. Okay, here if I checked what's the type of P, it will tell me list. And here, of course, the length is 3, as you can see here, 1, 2, 3, and of course the position is 0, 1, and 2. Okay. All right. So in the list, okay, we can add, we can delete, we can remove items from the list. Let's see how we can do that. So first, let's start with how to add. If we want to add items, we will use the function append. Okay, so if I want to add, now of course, as you know, the polar amino acids, there are some positively charged and negatively charged. So the positively charged are arginine, lysine, and histidine. And then now I want to add to this list all the 2 negatively charged polar amino acids. So how can I do that? I know that it's asp and glue. Okay, so here I will say P, in the list P, I want you to append or add ASP. All right, and then when I call P here, you will find that it is added. Okay, now if I check the length of P here, it's 4. So it first was 3, and when I added, it was 4. Did it change to the original? No, it did not. So this means that it is mutable. Okay, so mutable means that it's changeable. It will change. Okay, it will not go to the original data. All right, so this is one way you can add something to the list. Another way that you can add is called the insert. Okay, how? Or do the same way, but it takes 2 arguments. So P dot in the list P, I want to insert here, as you can see here. I don't know why is it not shown. Okay, in the insert, you will add here 2 arguments. The first is where the index, where do you want your insert to be. For example, I want it to be at the end here, or before ASP. I want it to be here. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3. I want it to be in position 3. So I put here 3 and what I want to insert, which is blue. All right. So when I call P, you will find that this amino acid got added in the position 3. Okay. So now, if you ask about the length, it will be 5. All right. It's not 3, it's 5. Okay. With the 2 added. Now let's try to, this is how you insert or you add things to the list. Now I want to remove or delete items from the list. I want to delete the two negatively polar amino acids. I don't want them in the list. So how can I do that to remove? All right, so the first function you can use is pop. And in the list, pop removes the last item or index. Okay, so if I say in the list P, I want you to pop or remove or delete nothing, and I did not write anything. Okay, it will delete a asp, which is the last amino acid. Okay, but so here, if you call P, you will see that it's only 4, and the asp is what deleted. Type. I want to delete not the last one. I want to delete something from the middle. Okay, how will I do it? I will also use pop. So p dot pop, and then I will tell him which one I want to delete, which position I want to delete. So this is position 0, 1, 2, 3. So I will say 3 here, okay, which is glue. So he deleted what? The glue. Okay, so if you call on P, it will become without the glue and the asp. There's another way you can remove also by the function remove itself. So it's also the same way. In P, I want you to remove, but you have the argument here is the item itself. So for example, his. Okay, so this is another way you can remove. Okay, of course I want his in the histidine in the list, but do you think I can undo it? No, I can't, because it's a mutable, so we cannot go to the original data. So I have to manually do that. So p dot append this. Okay, I added it again. All right. Okay, what else do we have? Yes, we have also count. If you want to count a specific item by also like what we used in string, the same thing, p dot count. For example, I want to count how many are. Of course, it's only 1. All right, and also you can know where the location of something in your list is by using index. So if I say p dot index, for example, his, it will tell me 2. What does that mean? That 0, 1, 2. So the location of, or the position of his is number 2. Okay, so all of these things can be used in list. Also, something very dangerous is clear. So if I said clear before that, I also wanted to show you that you can use the, dir or dir with all the data types. Here, if you want to know all the functions related to the list, you use this, and if you need to know a specific function, what it means, you can use the help. Okay, Now let's see about the clear. Okay, if I said p dot clear, okay, this means that it will clear everything in the list, and because it's a mutable data, so data type, so it will not save a copy or something like that. Type. In case we want to do that, we want to save a copy before all these changes, you can always use an immutable data like the string or the tuple. Okay, so if I do that, do p, it is an empty list. All right, so this is what we have in the list. So in the list, we learned that it's a mutable data type. We knew how to add and remove, to how to count, how to know the location of something in a list, and how to clear the list. Okay. Now let's go to the set. Let me see. All right. Now, the set, okay, it's sort of also a list, but the good thing about the set that it's really nice when you have two sets of data and you want to compare and contrast the two sets. So it has some functions that are similar to list, and also it can compare and contrast, know the difference between the two sets, know what's common, how to unite or join the two sets, how to update. All of these things are in the set, so it's really good in comparing data. Okay, so how do we write the set? I'm going to take the same data. All right, so for example, I have the positively polar is equal to, so the set, we use this kind of brackets, okay? And then we write the same. I wrote also the arg, the list, and the histidine, and then we close it. All right, if we asked about the type of PP, it will tell me that it's a set, and also the length, it will show me how many index I have. I have 3. All right, now the same things that I did to the list I will do, but with different function names. Okay, so for example, I want to add, in order to add something to my set, I will use the word add. So if I want to add pp dot add, and I will add the as. All right. Okay, here the thing is here that the Python adds in the set adds, when you use add, it adds randomly. Okay, so here it added the asp here. Okay, and I also want to add the glue, pp dot add. Okay, it will also add it randomly. Okay, here this is the only function that I know of that adds in the set. Okay, now if I want to remove, okay, I will use also pop and remove, but here in set, unlike the list, okay, the pop removes the first index. Okay, so here if I said pp.pop and it does not take any argument, it will, as you can see here, it removed the first amino acids, which is lysine. Okay. All right. And also here, pp, I can also use remove. For example, I want glue, remove glue. Okay, so it also it removed the index that you said in the parentheses. Okay. Now here it's the same. We added, we removed. Okay. Now here I will just do this again, copy paste it, and I have another set with my negatively polar, okay, which is as and blue. Now, okay, now here is what I was talking about, comparing and joining the sets. Here I have two sets, so if I say that type of NP, okay, it's also a set. Now, if I want to join, the two sets, and I want to save it as the polar, and all the polar negatively or positively. How can I do that? Okay, if you want to join, so we are going to use the function union. Okay, and it's written in two ways. PP dot union NP. Okay, so what happened here is that it joined the two sets, the length of PP why أيوة بالظبط, yeah. So the length of PP is still 3, and here PP it still has the same set, and also the length of NP, it will be 2, and it will still have the same. But when you want to join them together, you can use either union, or you can use PP and this like an L thingy, and with NP. It will also do the union. So if you want to join the two sets, you can use this function or this function. Okay? Now I want to create a new variable, okay, with a new set, sorry, with all our polar amino acids. Okay, and I want to compare and contrast with the PP and the NP. Okay, for example, if I want to know the difference between the polar and the PP, what is the amino acids that are different? How will I do that? So if I want to know the difference between two sets, I'm gonna use the function difference. So polar dot difference PP. So the difference, of course, is the non-polar, which is the ASP and the glue. Okay. Another way I can do that is by using the minus sign. So if I say polar minus NP, for example, it will also give me the difference between the two sets, which is of course the polar, which is the positively charged amino acids. Okay, so this is the difference. Now, if I want to know what's in common, what is the amino acids that are in common between the two sets, I can use intersection. What's common? Okay, I can use intersection. Polar dot intersection PP. Okay, it will show me what is similar or what is common between polar and pp, the two sets. Okay, another way to write it is by using the and sign, which is shift 7. So polar and, let's try NP. It will be the two amino acids, these two amino acids. Okay, so we can use this or this for common, this or this for difference, and we can use this if we want to join or unite the two sets. Okay. All right, the last thing that I have for you guys is the update. If I want to update the first set with a second one. Okay, so I use the update function. So if I say pp.update np, okay, it will update it for me. Okay, now this function, it will not update if Python found repetition. If we found duplicates, like for example, something that is duplicated in both sets, it will not update. Okay. All right, and of course the same there. If I want also to clear, it will be the same because it is mutable, so it will not be back and you go back. So if I want to pp dot clear, it will clear pp, it will make it it will delete everything it has. Okay, so as a summary, in the set, it has an advantage of comparing and contrasting and joining sets together. It also can add or remove. And of course, it has a lot of other functions. If you want to know, you can use this, the dir function with all of the functions. Okay. So that's it for the set. The last thing we have is the dictionary. Okay. Now, before I go here, let's go here. All right. So as I said, that the dictionary, it's written like this with these parentheses. Okay. It has a key dot dot value, comma, key 2 dot dot value 2. Okay. So it means that this is the first index. Okay. And this is the second index. So here, the key and the value is one index, and then separated by a comma, the second key and value. Of course, to Python, this is item 0, and this is item 1. Okay. Now, in a dictionary, you can define two values for one key. So, for example, I can have aug dot dot met or comma start codon. So there can be for one key two values, but not vice versa. You cannot have two keys and one value. Okay. So here, okay, I have one key and then two values. This is fine. Okay, but here I forgot to put parentheses here. Should be brackets here. Okay, I will show you now. And then the keys should not be duplicated. You cannot have two keys duplicated in the same dictionary. Okay. So let's go back to this shell. All right. Okay, so here I'm going to create a dictionary also with the similar data that I have for the set and the list, okay, but with their codons. Okay, so here I have the dictionary PP is equal to, I will open my dictionary brackets, and then I have my amino acid arch. Okay, this is my first key. Okay, dot dot. Now I wrote my key. Now I'm gonna write my values, because as you know, the amino acid have more than one codon. So I'm going to list here the more than one value. How do I do that? I open brackets, okay, and then I start writing my codons. So the first is CGU, and then comma, CGA, comma, AGA, AGG. So all of these codons belongs to what? To them. So how many items did I write right now? Till now, I wrote only one item. I wrote the key, dot dot, and then the value. All of those are values for this key. All right. Now I'm going to start writing my second key and value, or my second index or item, by a comma, and then I'm going to write my second, which is lysine. Lysine is my second key. So I have only two codons, which are AAA and AAG. All right, now I'm done with my second index. Now I'm going to write my third, which is his, and I'm going to give it this value, which is CAU and CAC. All right, that's it. So here I'm going to close my dictionary, and now I created a dictionary called PP. It has, let's see, something is wrong. Yep. Okay, here it's not an equal, it's two dots. Okay, now I created a dictionary. Let's check. Okay, it's a dictionary, and it has three, how many? Let's see. It has three index. So 1, 2, and 3. All right. Okay. Now, in the dictionary, you can do a lot of things. One of the simplest things that you can do is to display your items, display your keys, or display your values. So in order for you to display, okay, to display your items, you can use items pp dot. In the dictionary pp, I want you to display all my items. Okay, and here it will give you all the items that is found in the dictionary. Also, you can display your keys. It will tell you that we have 3 keys: arch, lyse, and histidine. All right, in case you want to display your values. Okay, also, as you can see here, the brackets are there because this belongs to value 1, this is value 2, and this is value 3 with the brackets. Okay, now in order for you to get the value of one key, you have a key and you don't want to keep checking, you want to know the value of one key. What do? Okay, you use get. Okay, so pp dot get, for example, arch. It will give you all the values all the values for the arch. Okay. Another way to do it, as I told you in the string, you can use these. Okay, you can use these also to get in the dictionary. How do we do that? You select your dictionary, which is PP. Okay, and then you want to get the value of arch. It will give you all the values. So you can use also this to get something from your dictionary. Now, this is how you get. All right. Also, you can use this to also research. You can get, and you can also research in your dictionary if there is a key, or if there's not a key. It will always, if you research, you will get a true or false answer. And of course, when you search about anything, even in the dictionary, you always search with the word, right? You don't search in the meaning, because I tried to do that, it gave me an error. So you only search with the key, okay? As you do in a normal dictionary. So for example, how do I do that? How do I research in the dictionary in Python? I use these brackets. I want to search for arch, and then I write in dictionary PP. Okay, so here, this is the way I research. This is the way I search. Search, not research. Search in a dictionary. What is happening? Okay, so here when I searched, I searched ARG or ARG in the dictionary PP. It told me true because it found it. What if I searched about ASP? It gave me false. طيب, what if I searched AAA in PP? It will also give me false, even though it's right here. So why? Because you cannot do that. You cannot search for a value in the dictionary. You search with the key, not the value. Okay? Now, so we all right, so now we know how to display, we know how to get information or search some information about the keys in the dictionary. Now we can also, in the dictionary, we can add and remove items. Okay, so I want to add first. Okay, to add items, okay, in a dictionary, this is how you do it. All right, so if I wanted to add, for example, the negatively charged polar. So what do? I will say in PP, okay, I want to add the key ASP, okay, and I want to give it equals, I want to give it the value yes, GAU and GAC. Okay, so here I said that I want to add in the dictionary PP, I want to add the key ASP with the value GAU and GAC. Okay, now you will find that here it is added. Okay, and here now the length of PP became 4. Okay. All right. This is how we add an item in the dictionary. Now, if we want to delete or remove, we can do that. We can do that 2 ways. There is pop and pop item. So when we use pop, you have to give it an argument. You have to tell it which key you want to delete. Of course, when it deletes the key, it will delete its values. So when we use pop, so we write pp.pop, and I want to delete asp. Okay, so it will delete the whole item. Okay, so if you do like this, you will see that it deleted the ASP key. Became 3. Another way, it's by pop item, and it will delete the last item also. Okay, so if I did pp.pop item with no argument, it will delete the last key and value, which is his. Okay. All right, so this is how we also can remove and we can delete an item. Okay. Now, here also in the dictionary, you can also update the dictionary. So if you for example have an old dictionary and you want to update it with a newer one, you can do that, and also give it like what we did in the set. So I will get this dictionary, just copy paste. All right. And NP and another dictionary. Where is it? Yep. This and GAA and CHE. Okay. And then we close it and we close the dictionary. Okay, so now we have 2 dictionaries, one for the negatively charged, one the positively charged, and their codons. Now I want to update them and then copy the updated dictionary into a new dictionary. Okay, so how can I do that? I will also use the function update. So pp.update np. Now pp, it will have this is the updated version. Now, if I want to copy this into a new dictionary, I can only use the equal sign. So in order for you to copy, okay, just use the equal sign. For example, my new dictionary is called polar equal pp. This, you will find that the polar has the same, the pp dictionary is copied to the polar dictionary. So polar also, it has 5. Okay. And of course, the same as the set and the list, if you cleared, it will be clear. So now we have the polar dictionary, we can clear the PP dictionary. Clear. Now it will have nothing. And as usual, also, we can use the dir function to know all the functions related to the to the dictionary. Okay. Yep, that's it. Thank you. If you guys have any questions, that's all what I have for today.